Every breakdown you ever watched about Ichigo's hollow get wrong in the same place. They call it a dark side or a curse, an enemy wearing his face. Here's what the archive says. The hollow was the only part of Ichigo that never lied to him. An entire arc, every inner world battle, every lost fight for control, every moment the mask cracked, was not a hero defeating his demon, it was a soul running from the truth about itself. Look at what Kubo actually drew. White skin where Ichigo is tan. A black as a default. His own face, his own posture is photo negative. This is not a aesthetic design. This is Kubo's thesis written directly onto a character before a single word is spoken. Whatever Ichigo is, white is the inversion of it. Same soul, different answers to the same question. And the question White asks from the very first moment that we meet him, the most dangerous question in the series. Who are you when nobody needs saving? Because Ichigo's entire identity living on one pillar, one justification for everything. I fight to protect the people I love. White looks at that pillar and delivers one line that decimates the whole thing. You do not fight because you want to protect. You protect because you want to fight. Take away the reason, and you are already me. That is not a villain monologue, that is a diagnosis. Watch this for a second. Ichigo reacts, he blocks, he waits, he calculates. His power spikes when someone he loves is threatened. Not on command, but on a trigger. He fights in response to the world. White does not block. White advances. No assessment of risk, no hesitation. Where Ichigo eyes are always asked, will they survive this? White eyes are always at the destination. White does not fight to end the battle. White fights because the battle is the point. And here is the line that the Dark Archives cannot let you just walk past. Ichigo is stronger as White. Every time White takes control, the ceiling shatters, which means every time Ichigo fights with full consciousness control, he is deliberately performing below his actual level. He is choosing to fight weaker than he is because his real level looks like White, and Ichigo would rather lose at himself than win at the truth. That is not a combat habit, that is a psychological crisis dressed in Shirogami robes. But here's the hidden secret. Visor training, inner world. Ichigo has been trying to cage the hollow through force of will. He is losing. White stands over him and says this, the king's horse dies here, but that's fine. I'll be the king and you'll be the horse. Most people hear that as a power grab. The Dark Archives hear something different. While it is describing the architecture of Ichigo's soul and what it is broken inside, the king is the consciousness will, the reason, the story you tell about yourself. The horse is the raw power, the instinct, the force that carries the king forward. Ichigo's problem, compromised into one line, is that he is trying to be both. He wants to control in the will that governs the power, to describe when it comes and how much it is released. White is telling him that that is not how a soul works. A king micromanaging the horse never runs at full speed. Ichigo refused to sit on the throne because sitting on it meant admitting what he is. And this is where the file becomes classified. Las Noches, rooftop. Ulquiorra does not defeat Ichigo, he kills him. Hole through the chest, battle over. And then Ichigo comes back, but Ichigo is not there. What rises is a Vasto Lorde form, operating completely without Ichigo's consciousness mind. And it is fighting to protect Orihime. The same mission, the same trigger, the same reason he came to the rooftop in the first place. Every limiter removed. Think about what that means. The hollow did not take over Ichigo's body and pursue different goals. It took over and finished his goal better than he could. Same value, no hesitation on the method. The monster on the rooftop was not a betrayal of Ichigo's soul. It was the purest expression of it. The horse ran in the right direction. The only thing missing was the king. The final arc says it plainly. The entity Ichigo called the Hollow, the voice he tried to silence, the power he was ashamed of, the face he called a monster, was his actual Zangetsu. Not the dark side, the true side. For 15 years, Ichigo stood inside his own soul and tried to destroy it, the only part of himself that told him the truth. He did not defeat his hollow, he finally agreed with it. Ichigo Kurosaki mastered his hollow. That is what they told you. Here is what the archive shows. The hollow was never a darkness inside him, it was the truth inside him. A king who refused the throne, a horse that ran away, and a soul that spent 15 years of war with itself before finally deciding to ride together. But hey, that is a declassified file for another night. Bankai.